What's going on, High Society? Welcome back to a very special episode, Sordward and Shielbert Spectacular Podcast, episode 23. It's the 100 Sub Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Lab Dog Ryan, head coach Boston Braviers, your commissioner. Got a lot of special guests here today. We're joined by Scott Baker, aka Baker Turtle. Yes, I did it. Guys, we had to restart this podcast like 3 times because I kept messing up, but we got it. Baker Turtle in the house, joined again by huge friend of the channel, you know, the guru. You might not want me to have him call him that because of other people, but the Justin Poke Card Collector. What's going on, Justin?
What's going on, guys?
Oh, yeah. And always happy to have him on. A lot of fun. One of the premier coaches of the society, Ali, head coach Mighty Side Ducks. What's going on, Ali?
What up? How's
Always
it going?
a fan favorite to have the lovable underdog on the cast. So, all right, guys, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. 100 subs. Guys, you viewers, I'm looking at you. Thank you so much. It was our goal to reach 100 subs by the end of October. It's now November, but we did do it. We did reach it by the end of October. So I want to thank you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for later in the podcast where we're going to announce the 100 sub giveaway. Giveaways. We're going to have a few. So you're definitely going to want to check those out. But Scott, thank you for coming on the podcast. We've kind of been messaging back and forth. For those who don't know, Scott is a co-owner and a coach in another draft league, the PFL, and I want to invite him on to talk about the league that he's involved in, talk about how he runs it, what rules and different stuff they do, kind of like the history of his league. You know, as you watch Sordward and Shielbert Spectacular Society, you see our history and our story unfold. So I wanted to bring somebody else on from another league to kind of tell their story. And from what Scott's told me already, it's definitely a historied past for the PFL. So, Scott, I'm just going to let you take it from there. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about the PFL. What makes it so special?
All right. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. First off, I want to say thanks. You know, this is my first podcast or anything I've been on. So a little nervous, but, I'm sure we all are, right? Anyways,
don't butcher the name.
Yeah, right. So I'm Scott Baker, aka Baker Turtle, as I am online. I am, like you said, the co-owner of the PFL. I've been a coach in the same league as well for as long, and we've been doing draft league battles, Pokemon draft league battles. It's similar to like fantasy football where you draft. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it, but maybe our audience is not familiar with it exactly. But yeah, it's a draft league, and I first based it off of the GBA that I saw on YouTube back with Shady Penguin and Magnitude, the OGs back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, what's up?
Oh, I was just saying. Oh yeah, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah. So we based it off of that at first, and we started off on the game itself. But after a while, we liked the competitive aspect to it. We liked we're like super nerds. We're we're just really competitive, and so we want to make it as competitive as possible. And so we want all access, so we started going to Pokemon Showdown because we couldn't always get the Pokemon that we wanted, with all the available Pokemon you could draft that are available. You can't always get it in the game, or it's difficult. So we're like, let's just make it easy. Let's just make it about skill and not your ability to actually get the Pokemon itself. And we just want to see who's the best. So we did a lot on Pokemon Showdown, and that's been a huge success. We've been getting a lot of, attention online on Facebook. It started out on Facebook, started a page. We would do shares again with other Pokemon pages, and started this back in 2014. So,
oh wow,
yeah, we've been going a long time, and eventually we ended up splitting the league because we were getting so much attention. We have a 16 coach league, and we were getting way more than that. And we were like, we can actually have 2 leagues going at the same time now. And we wanted to separate it by skill because a lot of people would come and they're new to it and they're getting demolished. They go 0-12 for the season, and it's not fun for them, you know. So we made a minors league for like the beginners and the ones who are starting out, so that they can like battle with people close to their skills. And then we have the majors who are like they're competitive, you know, they're trying to win, and you know, it's very competitive that way. But I've been a coach just as long. I have 1 championship win. I've been in 4 championships. I've lost 3 times, but you know, I've been a pretty good battler myself. But this last season, I don't know what's gotten into me, but I wasn't doing really well. So I ended up 2-10. The first time I missed playoffs, I know, yeah. So I'm gonna be going down to minors. I guess I need to, you know, get my skills back up. But doing well in other leagues that I'm in. I do join side leagues every now and then, and have fun and brush up on my skills that way. But my main focus is PFL. It's a page on Facebook, Poke Fighters League. If you guys want to search it, Poke Fighters League.
Yeah, we'll link it down below. We'll have your
Alright,
channel, cool. And we'll I'll get the Facebook link from you, and we'll have all that linked down below, of course.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that sounds good. So that's basically what I'm about. You know, I love playing these battles, draft league battles every week. So
yeah. Draft league is so much fun. Like you said, it's just a whole different skill set having to use these. You know, you're forced to use non-conventional Pokemon and figure out like, okay, yeah, sure, you have your top picks that are always going to be good, but then that's maybe only 3 or 4 Pokemon, and then you got 6 or, you know, however many are on your team.
Right.
And so then you got to piece up, and maybe like your best Pokemon that you picked, like your S tier, A tier, whatever you want to call it, like its matchup sucks this week. So now you're forced to even use more unconventional Pokemon because you're like, well, I can't bring, you know, Como against 4 fairy types, you know, like he's going to bring at least a couple of them. But
yeah,
like I have Como on my team this season as my A-tier pick, and I've sat him a couple weeks just because I'm like, well, he's not going to be able to tank the hits I need him to, or I don't think Stealth Rock will be important, like as important this week, so I'll leave him on the bench. But yeah, so Scott, just a few kind of questions, I guess, about like the structure of your league, and then maybe we'll get into more sort of like the overhead, you know, sort of like admin role sort of stuff you do as like a co-owner or like as a high-profile coach. But first off, I wanted to say that, you know, I've watched quite a few of your battles. Thanks,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Unfortunately, you know, you had your struggles this season, but it seemed like, you know, being in the majors, you definitely were up against top competition throughout.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't see like a lot of, you know, coaching errors, so to say, from like either side throughout. So it was definitely, you know, high skill play. But like through following you, I noticed you posting about the PFL minors, and that got me interested in that. And it got me thinking, like, as you said, you know, the PFL is a 16-team league, 5S, we're a 16-team league. But even before the season started, I had a few people who like wanted to get in, but I was like, I'm already full, you know, I don't want to go beyond 16. But if like just the idea of like a minors like really appealed to me, having like a slightly different rule set and everything, almost like not Little Cup, but more like a NFP sort of thing, not fully evolved. Having like time fun like that, like you said, new coaches or people who are at like just a skill level below can kind of like learn and develop there. So I'm hoping to mirror something similar for next season, but again, it will all depend on like the interest that we generate. I don't know if I'll be able to get like, I would want like a minimum of 8 teams in there, so I don't know if I'll be able to get another 8 teams, but we'll see. But I wanted to say like that's an awesome idea. Who came up with that idea, or was that kind of like a group effort?
It was mainly my idea. I'm like one of the main you know, like decision makers of the league. It actually I started it with an older friend of mine who I played back in the day. His name was Joshua, but he fell off. He doesn't play Pokemon anymore, so I've taken over with it. But along the way, my other friend Steven, he's been around with us just as long, but he kind of like, took on more responsibility in the league as well. So I kind of share it with him. And it's been our baby. We keep it alive all these years. We take breaks and then we come back, message the same people every, we take maybe a month break in between seasons. And then like after, or maybe sometimes more. I think we'll take a longer break this season.
With the holidays and everything.
Yeah, take the holidays off. We just finished, actually, coincidentally, with our championship games. Both the minors and the majors ended today.
Oh, wow.
It's been a great season, but we actually came up with that idea because we just felt bad for those who just kept losing, and it's the same people every season after.
Ali, you listening?
I don't know what anyone's talking about.
But I know, I know that can't feel good, So it's just we know which ones are like, okay, ahead of time, if you almost know if they're gonna win or not. You're like, this guy's good, this guy's not that good. You know who's gonna win before even the battle happens. Sometimes it's like, but then if you match them up with someone lower skilled, you're like, you know what, that could actually be a good battle for either one of them. We can go either way. And so I wanted more of those kind of matchups. And we had the numbers, so.
Yeah, that's awesome. Ali, don't worry, you're too much of a fan favorite. I would get so much backlash if I sent you to the minors.
It would be disastrous, honestly, for you and for everyone else in the minors. It wouldn't be right to them.
If last season almost fractured the league, then doing that would just implode it for sure.
I mean, did you tell the guys about the electric play-in game I had to make it to the playoffs last year? I mean,
oh no, yeah.
Cried.
That's right. You always have some hype around you, Ali. That's for sure. Even when you're
there's nudity gambling involved.
Way to sneak into the playoffs.
Oh man, hey, but sometimes I've seen people who don't do well in the regular league go to minors and become champions in minors. So, with the people at your own skill level, who knows? And also it helps you improve as well. Getting that experience. So.
No, for sure, I can see that. Honestly, if it wouldn't break the hearts of all of our subscribers, I would totally go down because I feel like I could use the remedial practice, but at the same time, people might cry. So I don't know if I can do it.
It could be your revival, man. You're like, okay, this is where every hero has to have their fall before they pick themselves back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right now I'm like Bruce Wayne in the pit, and I just got to find a way to rise. But we'll figure something out over in parts unknown Psyduck's land.
All right, guys watching, subs, our lovely viewers. If we can reach 20 likes on this video, Ali will not be sent to the minors next season. So.
Oh, come on, guys.
He's asking for you.
That's some sympathy likes.
Come on, guys. You know you want to.
Do it.
All right. So kind of getting off of that track with the minors, though. So how many? So we talked about. This was off camera, but you do a similar tiering system to us, SAB, etc. How many tier levels do you have? And how do you kind of develop that tiering system? Is that you and the other owner, or is that kind of you pick in our thing, it's me, and then I kind of randomly pick 3 other people, and we did a podcast where we went through for an hour and a half, and okay, obviously this one's C, blah blah, but then we would talk about some of them, be like, okay, where do we think this goes? What's your
that's a good question
behind that?
Yeah, that's a good question. We do it differently than from what I hear that you guys do. We do because we do it on Showdown. We have the ability to have the whole national decks. So because of that, there's a whole bunch of Pokemon that we have to pick from. So we actually have 5 tiers, and we, like I said, we based this off of the GBA way back in the day, and they had tier 1 and tier 2 and stuff like that. So it's not like SA. I've been in other draft leagues that are like that, but we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and
same concept though, top to bottom.
Yeah. And the way we have them drafted, some people draft differently, but we have them. You have to have one tier two, tier one, one tier two tier threes, one tier four, one tier five, and then you have 400 points to spend however you want between tier one and tier five, depending on the points. So tier one is like 180 points, tier two is 120, 100, 60, 40 in that way. And also depending, we also still use megas. We love mega Pokemon. And I feel like that was one of the best, dynamics that they added to the game. And so depending on the megas are actually tiered differently as well. Some megas are not built the same as the others. So if you draft a lower tiered mega, you actually get more points. So you can draft a low tier mega, say like Mega Glalie, Mega Camerupt, and then you can get more points. So you can get maybe 2 extra tier ones in your free points. And so, based on that, it's a lot of strategy drafting that way too. So that's fun. But we actually come up with a tier system where we just compare from the last season, the tiering we have, where we revisit it. We're like, okay, we have an admin team. It's me and the other owner. And then we have, sometimes it depends on, like, it rotates throughout the years, but like 2 or 3 other admins as well. And we all just post like an Excel, like a Microsoft Sheets draft. We put all the Pokemon down and we have like a voting system. Like, okay, it's right now it's at tier 3. Do you think it should move up or move down? Just whatever you feel. And then we kind of average it out. We make our arguments sometimes when we feel strongly about it. But that's basically what we do. We just compare from the last season and we're like, any changes? And we just go through each tier. And it takes about a day or two. Yeah. That's how we do that.
Awesome. Yeah. So kind of when you were talking about megas, I was thinking about, so do you guys do Gigantamax or Dynamax in your league?
No, we actually did one season of the Gigantamax, but we just felt like sometimes it's a little too broken. Sometimes with the max airstream, you just get the automatic speed boost and then you just lost. So it didn't really feel competitive sometimes. And so we're like, okay, no Dynamax, no Z moves either. We felt Z moves could have been similar, but we didn't feel like Mega Pokemon were that broken. So we still allow Megas, but no Gigantamax anymore, no Z moves, and National Dex.
Yeah, because Megas at the end, it's more of just like stats. I mean, sure, some of them get like nice abilities, but it's not abilities that other Pokemon can't get. So it's not like you said with Z moves and max moves, you're getting like huge power, like powerful attacks plus benefits.
Exactly.
Them, so but when you were talking about how you tier megas differently, we did this season because we do Gigantamax in our league currently. And we split the Gigantamaxes into like plus and minus. And basically, if you drafted a minus, you got to get like more B tier picks. And if you drafted a plus, you had to pick more C tier picks. So that's how we kind of like balance them. Like, okay, if you draft a lower level Gigantamax, then you at least get like some higher tier other Pokemon. So kind of the similar, like you said, with the points. So I just wanted to like kind of like touch on that, some like differences but similarities within the differences.
Yeah.
So kind of going off what you said about the whole admin team, we of course, as the commissioner, I do a lot, but I also have a rotating rules committee that we swap out throughout the seasons, and I let people like volunteer first, and then if I don't get like enough people, then I start like going around asking. But I try to keep it like fluid and rotating. But how do you guys? So flashback story. Ali loves this story. The story of the poopy pants. So we had a bit of a fallout last season, kind of just like one coach who wasn't happy with a certain decision. I don't even know what decision he wasn't happy about.
Me neither. I forget.
Yeah, like whatever it wasn't important enough to have such a tantrum over it. But basically, he just had like a 2-week long tantrum. And by the end of it, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to kick him from the league. Like, it was like we had like 1 week left of the league. I could just shift the schedule around and then we would just go into playoffs, whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to kick him. So I ended up kicking him. And then that causes a couple other people to be like, what the hell, why'd you kick him? I didn't think he was doing anything wrong. And I was like, well, he's being a pain to me. Like, he was like, not even stuff in the league. He was like going on like my social media and doing like stuff like to me in particular. So it was more like pointed at me. But so then these couple people do something, so then I have to kick them. And then, it kind of like dominoed. And by the end of it, there were like 5 people who ended up, like 3 got kicked, and then a couple more were just like, okay, I'm going to like drama mama,
So it just like imploded.
Yeah, but we've recovered very nicely this season from it, so it's nothing major. But how does your league deal with something like that?
Yeah, I think we're just fortunate to have people that we've known for a long time. We're all kind of good buddies, good friends. We've known each other for years. So it's not really any strangers. And I try to, we use Facebook, so we use Messenger. So we have an admin chat where it's like every day we talk, and we're like friends. And so when we make decisions, it's like as equals. We do a lot of polling and voting, and we allow a lot of discussion before we make decisions, so that it's not an unpopular decision. And also, just knowing the people in the group is just really helpful to like know that they know how we are. They know what the rules are, and we set clear rules on like, okay, if you do this, then you get kicked. If you did this, you're on your first warning, this and that. We just set clear boundaries of like what is acceptable or not. We give warnings when we're like, hey, your behavior. We message them privately and say, hey, we don't appreciate how you've been acting lately. If you keep it up, then you might not be invited back, or just things like that. So we just kind of try to keep it civil, but we all know each other, so we don't really have that many problems like that anymore.
Yeah, I think obviously, like I said, this season we've had no issues, and every season I do a poll like towards the end of the season. I just sent it out this week, kind of just like to all the coaches, and be like, hey, where was your like fun level on this? Where do you think the competitive level was on this? What's your favorite part of the league this season? What's your least favorite? What would you like to see going forward?
That's a good idea.
YouTube channel. So it's kind of like you said, polling and everything, getting an idea. So I sent that out this past week, and we'll be breaking that down on a future podcast coming up once I get all the results towards the end of the season for that, and kind of just see. But overall, very positive this season. So I think we got out the bad eggs and replace them with some really good people. And like you said, hopefully, we're still like, we've only been doing this for 1 year. This is our 3rd season. We do kind of like you said, we do 8 weeks plus like 3 or 4 weeks of playoffs, and then we take like a month off. So I'm thinking of doing about like 3 seasons every year. But so it's been going really good.
Do you mind if I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Do you guys, we just kind of lately started implementing this, but do you guys do like an awards, like after the season awards, like best, like the MVP, like defensive man of the year, or best coach, and like things like that? You guys do awards like that?
Yeah, so we do. We have a weekly MVP. So every week, the rules committee and we pick like 4 Pokemon, and then we post it. And this is open to like the public. Like we post it on like our Facebook pages and stuff too. But you can go and like vote for like the MVP of the week. And the winner of that I get them like a shiny version of that Pokemon, and, like train it up and stuff. So that's cool. Get that, yeah. And then at the end of the season, we do a season MVP, and the winner of the league does get a trophy.
That is awesome.
So this is mine. This is from season 1.
Nice.
I'm the 2-time, so I also won season 2, but I didn't get myself a trophy yet, because what I want to do is I want to get like a perennial like trophy that I can like engrave like names in, and we can pass it around. And this season we're also going to start a losers trophy. So whoever gets last place in the league, I'm gonna get a like plushie, like a decent like nice plushie, you know, probably like a Pikachu or something. And the loser of the league is gonna mark it somehow. So they'll draw something, they'll like tear it or something. So, you know, every season it's gonna be
That's
a little
cool.
more dingy and like
Yeah.
So that's kind of like our thing. But
That's a pretty cool idea. I like that idea.
yeah, so I like how you just said the like defensive Mon of the year too. That could be something. Not all of our coaches currently report, so sometimes it's hard to like analyze certain results.
Yeah,
Like
that's another benefit of Showdown is that you get replays really easily.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can talk about that. Just like the pros and cons Showdown versus, you know, doing like the Nintendo Switch. So obviously, I mean, you've said it with Showdown, the access, right? That's
Yeah.
You have access to everything.
Yeah.
Anything you want is there. Like it's a click away. So that is something that, you know,
It's just a huge time saver. You know, not having to breed, not having to EV train, just things like that. And you know, just we were having a lot of issues early on with the replays, like back because we would do it back on the 3DS with Omega Ruby and stuff like that and stuff like that. But sometimes the replays would be lost, and that hurts the that hurts like people trying to scout their opponents. They watch their old battles, also the stats, and it's just a lot of people were just complaining about like, man, like this is bad. They just said, why don't we just use Showdown? Why don't we just do this? And at first we were resistant, and we're like, you know, we like the aesthetics of the actual like on the game itself. But after a while, you know, we just all kind of just agreed, like, you know what, if this is about just getting the battles done, making this easy, making this not really time-consuming, all-consuming thing, then Showdown is just, you know, it's just easier. The replays are easy. The EVs, it's just becomes a mental game and just, you know, battling it out that way.
Yeah, for sure. And you brought it up, but probably the biggest pro to playing like on the Switch or whatever is just the look of it and everything.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. You know, that is a big plus. That's something a lot of people have said, like who are outside the draft league, or like, man, like why don't you guys do it on the Switch or whatever? It's like it looks better.
But I watch a lot of Showdown content too. Like I don't mind. Like if you're watching a skilled player play, then you know it's kind of the same thing. I'm probably like I've dabbled in Showdown. I've never like grinded on it or anything, but I'm probably a little too invested in the physical game to like make that maneuver over for our league. But you know, I can see like obviously the benefit of it is clear and obvious. So you know, I can see why a lot of leagues do it.
Another thing is that a lot of people have trouble getting the Pokemon they need. So it does kind of promote, you know, hacking and genning and doing these other, you know, illegal ways of, you know, getting these Pokemon. So I think Showdown, it just offers a guilt-free, you know, just like easy access way of like, you know, some people don't like to hack their games and get, you know, genned Pokemon, and they want to breed it themselves and EV, and then it becomes time consuming, and you know, it's just, you know, I just wanted to bring up it kind of just makes you want to gen your Pokemon.
Yeah. I will say that this new generation, Sword and Shield, did make it a billion times easier to breed and train Pokemon than ever before. So maybe just the fact from like having to do it through like the past generations and going to this one, I'm like, oh, it's so much easier. Like people always complain like, oh, I don't have the time, and I'm just like, just tell me what kind of Pokemon you want, I can get in like a couple hours, you know. Just
we would have like breeders, like people in our group who are like, just send me what you guys need, and I'll breed it for you, I'll get it to you. So it's like, I know those people are like super generous, you know? Yeah, like you, like, that's really you know, generous for you to offer to do those things for others.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
I know
like
how
you said, I
time-consuming
do want to keep like a sort of competitive integrity. So I'm like, hey, if you need a Pokemon, I'm going to do
Yeah.
whatever I can to get you that Pokemon. You need a hidden ability. You need a certain item. Like you haven't gotten a Flame Orb yet in this game, and you need it. I'll grind those things and get you a Flame Orb. I don't care. Although they did make Flame Orb a little bit easier to get in the DLCs, but awesome. So Scott, thanks for explaining about the PFL and all that. Really interesting to see the compare and contrast to our league and how other successful leagues have done. Congrats on, I didn't even know, you had told me it's been around, but 6 years now, over 6 years. So congrats on that, and here's to a lot more.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So moving on, Justin, Card Collectors here, which means we got some TCG talk. I love it. I've been cracking open a bunch of stuff. If you guys could see my desk on this side, it's just covered in Pokemon cards. I pre-recorded like 10 videos like the other weekend while my internet was down. So I got to start like scheduling those to go up. But Justin, it's the last couple of weeks have been a whirlwind in the TCG world. Maybe if you want to go back to Champions Path and say like the last like month or so has been a whirlwind, but definitely the last couple of weeks with we talked about on a couple podcasts ago the whole Logan Paul sort of hype, and now you got all these different influencers and all these other people, and price is going crazy. So I'm just going to let you kind of take the floor and just talk about whatever you want to talk about in the TCG world, Justin. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like you said, it's gone absolutely crazy. Within the last month or so, it sort of started with the Logan Paul thing, but even before that, when Champions Path came out, as you said, it just invited a lot of people who were sort of maybe chasing quick money because it had such two big high prize cards in it. So, like, as you would know, because you were a perfect example, you couldn't find Champions Path anywhere.
Yeah, it took me a long time. A lot of drive.
Yeah. I'm a reseller, and even for me, it was hard to get. Like, I've got my first shipment of stuff in, and that's it. I've seen it in maybe 2 shops apart from that, and I go out actively looking for it. And just, like, as you would see, prices are just insane. So the Logan Paul thing and Logic and anybody else who's sort of gotten to the hobby recently, I mean, it's good for the hobby because it gets so many people into it, but like myself and yourself and probably anybody else around our age, if you want to sort of get those nostalgic cards, it's made it so much harder to get now. Like, I've got a card, I got it for Christmas time. It's a PSA 7 base set Charizard. It was 175 Australian.
Wow.
One sold the other day for 2,800 Australian. Like,
Wow.
same thing. So, like
over 1,000% increase.
Yeah, in like not even a year, 10 months.
Hey, excuse me, Justin. Forgive my ignorance, but what is the situation with Logan Paul and Logic and them? Like, what is the deal with them?
So Logan Paul's whole claim was he loved it when he was growing up, and he did a massive break of a first edition booster box. So like in the TCG, it's the Holy Grail. And when he bought that, he set a record-setting price to buy that box. Broke it live on YouTube and allowed people to buy in to his packs. So I think that's sort of, he's got such a massive following. So I'm guessing what it's done is it's made a lot of people like, I used to love Pokemon cards when I was a kid. I'm going to start buying them up again. And now it almost seems, every celebrity or every second content creator is finding their Pokemon cards again. I'm a collector, I'm a reseller, and it's like a little bit frustrating for me when someone who, like, I'm not going to name names, but people who've never uploaded Pokemon TCG content, made a video and their first line was Pokemon's back. It never left. it's been around for, you know, nearly coming up 25 years. You know what I mean? And it's good for the hobby because it gets more people in, and you know, it's an awesome community and an awesome hobby to be in. An expensive one, but it makes it hard. Like, you know, Ryan's only just got into doing TCG again, and like already he's faced with the battle of, I'm looking for this newer set so I can open it for my channel, and because, you know, it's cool to open, but I can't find it anywhere. Yeah. So it's good in the way because it's bringing people in, but I can understand how it would be a little bit demotivating for people. Being a part of this community, I've seen a few people who create content with their kids and have gone on the date that Champions Path, the newest set, when that was released, they'd go to, you know, overseas, Walmart and Walgreens and all that, and can't find it. Their kids are upset because, you know, a scalper's gone and cleared out an entire shelf to try and flip it for a profit. Like the box in question, so that box there, in Australia, that retails for $100, and we got delayed by a week. When
I think it's like about 40 MSRP in America.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. What's the conversion between Australian to US dollars?
Yeah, so I think your normal Elite Trainer boxes sell for 40 USD. These ones were 50. These ones are a little bit more expensive, but people were flipping these for 300 Australian.
Wow.
Like, yeah, and a lot of shops, like,
those just hiked up the prices and the demand and shortened the supply and all that.
That's exactly right, and it's happened with the set that's due to come out in a couple weeks time. We're delayed here by another week. It's supposed to come out on the 13th. It looks like some places in America may have gotten early access to it. There's one particular product that comes out generally before the release of the set. It's usually reserved for places that hold TCG tournaments. I'm not sure what they cost in the States normally, but normally it's around the $35 mark in Australian. But people, I think I saw someone in America pay like $60 for one or something like that. So it's just, it's going to be the same thing all over again. There's not even really a huge prize card in that, but it's just people are taking advantage of getting it, and yeah, it's drawn in a lot of people who are just in it to make some money, because the money is there. But like, if you want to, you know, buy and resell, the money's 100% there. But it sort of takes, personally speaking, it takes the enjoyment out of it a little bit, because I'm very fortunate that I have a store, so the stock comes straight to me. I don't have to rely on going to a store to find something. But I mean, I'm trying to find some more Champions Pass because I can't even get it in for me, and I can't find it anywhere. So it's a bit, this sucks. You know, I look online and someone's trying to sell it for 2 times the retail price.
They gotta make more cards. They gotta up the supply.
Yeah. Well, this box here. So when this dropped out, we got a really limited supply. And
limited edition.
Yeah, the day this got released in Australia, we got an email from the supplier saying that there's another reprint, re-release coming in January. So they've obviously seen the demand is there, and you know, they're meeting it. Hopefully, it's enough this time that people who didn't get the chance to get it this time.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
for
sure. Yeah, I mean, kind of just going off of that, Justin. Like, I work like right down the street from a Walmart. So, you know, just out of curiosity, a few times a week, I just poke my head in there like, oh, do they got anything today? You know, like right when they open around like 7 when I'm on my way to work. And the TCG it's always blown out. There's like scraps. Like, they don't, forget about Champions Path. They don't even have like any packs of Darkness Ablaze out anymore. You know, it's like, there's just like nothing. It's like, oh, I can get the Galarian Meowth VMAX box for $20 blue.
Yeah,
like there's 50 of those left. Or I can get
It's
one of
just
those
crazy.
mystery power cubes for $20 and get nothing out of it. So
Yeah.
it's just
It's just crazy. Like, a few people that I talked to from America speak to the actual vendor, because I think the way it works with the difference between America and Australia, generally the product will be sent to the store and it's the store's staff responsibility to put it out. But it looks like someone from the supplier actually comes out to stock the stock, if I'm not mistaken, and they'll be in direct talks with the vendor, so they're getting there as soon as the stock's being brought in and put out. And it sounds like a lot of people are doing that, and as soon as something drops, someone might grab a few things, but there'll always be someone to basically clean out the rest of the shelf.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Because when one of the Champions Path things came out, I was driving all around like that.
Yeah.
Thing. Like you remember, Justin, I went to like 10 different stores looking for it the day it came out, and people were saying like, "Oh, we didn't." Well, I mean, a lot of places didn't get any or whatever, but people were telling me like, "Oh yeah, we got some in," and some guy saw that we had it last night and bought the whole box, like $300, just bought the whole case of everything. So
and that for someone potentially new to the hobby, that's a bit disheartening, right? Like, especially for yourself, you were getting into the TCG after our last podcast and stuff like that, and especially if you're like, you're not, but if you've got younger kids and opening it with younger kids, it's a bit of a disappointment. Like, oh, I was super excited to open this set. Can't find it anywhere. I've had to travel, however long some people have traveled to get it and haven't been able to find it. So it's good that so many people are in the hobby, but on the other hand, it's making it a lot harder for some.
yeah, for sure. But kind of we'll take off the somber news a little bit and turn into a little bit of a good news. When we do get Vivid Voltage, whether it's in a couple weeks for us in America or a week later for Justin and our Aussie friends, Aussie, oi, oi, oi.
There you go.
We will be having our Vivid Voltage Pack Battle Tournament with all 16 PokeTubers. I've been linking it down below on some of my past videos, but I'll link it down again. Justin's awesome hype video that he posted a little while ago, so definitely make sure you check that out if you're into our TCG content, because this tournament I think it's going to be just a blast. So hopefully everyone's able to get the product that they ordered or that they need for it. Yep. But I think the whole thing's going to be really fun, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun. Normally I've seen a couple tournaments that only have sort of 8 people, and we've got 16 including the 2 of us, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And you sort of, even if we're doing a double elimination, so even if you lose in the first round, or when I lose in the first round, I'm not down and out for the count. I've still got another chance. So you've done an amazing job coming up with the idea and organizing it, so it's going to be a blast. It's going to be
I'm letting you be the muscle for this, Justin. I give the ideas. You're the one who has to enforce them, so I'm letting you do that.
Yeah, we got an awesome team of people. We got an awesome bunch of content creators.
Oh yeah, for sure. Which you reminded me something of that, Justin, so thank you. I'm not going to say what it is, but I will correct it later. But make sure you guys check out, we have Vivid Voltage Pack Battle Tournament merch already on the store, which will be linked below, so check that out as well if you're hyped for the tournament. And every YouTuber who's in has their own specific code, so if you want to use Vivid5S, code Vivid5S, you can help sponsor me. And if you want to use VV PokeCard, is that what I gave you, Justin? Yep,
that's right. Yeah.
Card. You can support Justin there, but check out the other people's channels. Hopefully, they're plugging their codes as well when they talk about the tournament. But guys, it's the time you all been waiting for. It's the 100 sub podcast, which means we got 100 sub giveaway. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
we got quite a few things to give away here. So what I want everybody to do to enter the giveaway, you're going to comment down below hashtag Society100, that's 100, hashtag Society100, and then comment your favorite team of the Society. So is it your Boston Braviers? Is it Ali and the Mighty Psyducks? Is it the Denver Nine Tails, Tuscaloosa Talonflames? You know, I can go on Montreal Milotics. Let us know. You've seen them in all the battles. You've seen the coaches come on the podcast. Comment below who your favorite team is. You can check out the merch store and find like what logo or merch you really like and just be like, oh, Sin City Squirtles looks cool. They suck at battling, but damn it, they got a cool logo. So check that out. That's what I want you to do. Hashtag Society100 and comment your favorite team. And we're going to pick 3 winners. There's going to be a grand prize winner, second place and third place. So for the prizes, we have this VMAX Eternatus box.
Wow.
And the Sword and Shield expansion pass. This includes both Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra. So the grand prize winner, I guess we'll also do this, is going to get a t-shirt for their favorite team. So when you comment your favorite team, you are going to get a t-shirt for that team signed by the coaches of the Society. So we are going to sign your shirt. This is going to be a one-of-a-kind thing, and you'll get your pick of the VMAX box if you're into our TCG content, or the expansion pass. Maybe you haven't bought it yet. Maybe you have a friend who doesn't have it and you want to give it to them. So you'll get your pick. You'll get a signed shirt of your favorite team and your pick of the Eternity's VMAX box or the expansion pass. Second place, you will also get a shirt of your favorite team. Not signed, unfortunately. Sorry, that's grand prize material. And you'll get, you know, the leftovers, unfortunately, but still good prizes for whatever the grand prize winner didn't want. So that's second place. You get a shirt and either the VMAX box or the expansion pass, whichever one the grand prize winner doesn't pick. And then third place, you get a lovely face mask of your favorite team. So 3 prizes. Make sure you comment hashtag Society100, and I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom so people can see the Vivid Voltage merch as well there. So we even have a mug. I don't know if people can see that because we got our faces there, but you know, people have been, the PokeTubers and stuff, and people have ordered are starting to get their Vivid Voltage pack battle tournament stuff in, so that's very cool there. And bring that up a little more.
Man, that looks cool.
Yeah, kind of plug that in. Oh, awesome. All right, so that's the 100 sub giveaway. Again, hashtag Society100 and comment your favorite team. And get yourself some merch. We'll be announcing the winners on next week's podcast. So you got all week to comment, and we'll pick the winners live on next week's podcast and get in touch with those lovely people. So let's go over real quick the last week in the Society. So we just went through week 6. And we got all the results in for tonight. Unfortunately, you know something, Scott? We didn't really talk about this, but unfortunately we had a couple forfeit wins this week. Just a couple people who were unreachable for whatever reason. So in our league, we give, you know, if the coach you're paired with can't get in contact with you, and if I can't get in contact with you, and it's like 2 days and it's coming up to Sunday and it's Sunday night and I'm getting ready to do the podcast and we can't even hear from you, like, I don't mind rescheduling for like a Monday night or something, but if I don't hear from you, then I consider that's like the forfeit, right? So we give a win and 3 differential to the coach that was in contact. So I don't know if you do something similar in your league, Scott.
Yeah, we do. We just kind of message who was like messaging each other last, like who made more of the effort. If there's clearly one-sided discussion, then we just give that person the fourth win. Yeah, just 3-0.
Yeah, so we'll go over that as we kind of scroll through here because of that there were some major shift changes here. So we'll just kind of go through. So we got the matchup for next week, Week 7, Battle of the Titans. It's your Boston Braviaries, 6-0, plus 20 points, the undefeated 2-time, the Sinister Six. For those who haven't seen my team, it's all based on Spider-Man villains, Sinister Six. I tried to handicap myself because I don't like, winning's great, but enough is enough. A Spider-Man needs to come up and stop me. That's all I gotta say. And can it be Denver? Also 6-0, 20 points, plus 20 differential. So this is the week, Scott. What do you think of this matchup here?
I mean, that's just the match made in heaven. Like the top two teams, is no better way to figure out who's the best. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Congratulations for being undefeated 6-0. That's
it's
accomplishment.
Been some close games. For those who didn't watch the match this week against Vero Beach Volcaronas, if he had Mach Punch on his Conkelder, I would have died 100%. But
Wow.
He was running Guts, Facade, Drain Punch, Earthquake, and
Knockoff?
yeah, I forget. I don't think he revealed his last move.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying in the video, like, if he has Mach Punch, I'm dead. Because I had, like, he hadn't brought his Conkelder like twice all season. So I was like, oh, he probably won't bring it this game, whatever. And I had Lycan Rock and Zoroark at the end there. And I was like, oh, Mach Punch just like destroys me here, but he didn't have it. So you have Denver.
What's your best Pokemon on your team right now?
My Zeraora. So if we want to look at this, my Zeraora is 12 KOs and 2 feints.
Oh, okay.
Out of 6 games. Como had a very good game last week. He got 5 KOs last week, was the league MVP for week 5. But you kind of see, like, in some of these Pokemon I've dropped as we've kind of gone on. But they're all based on Sinister Six. So Green Goblin.
Okay, cool.
Zeraora is the Prowler. I don't know if you watched the Into the Spider-Verse, but he's the Prowler.
Yeah.
The Lizard. Mysterio is Zoroark.
Okay.
Lycanroc, this one's a little bit of a stretch, but he's Kraven the Hunter.
I see it.
Yeah. Ultimate Beetle for Scizor. Doc Ock, of course, for Tentacruel. Slowking is my Kingpin. And Class is Silver Sable. And then my free agent pickup this past week was Decidueye, who is the Vulture.
Nice. Pretty cool team. I like it.
Yeah, so, it's hard because I'm kind of handicapping myself, so I can't just, it's got to fit. It's got to fit the theme. But anyway, back to the standings. So we got a slew of 4-2 teams now. We got Mancho and Milotes. They got a win by forfeit, but they've been doing very well this season. So they moved up to 4-2 with a plus 11 differential. So their differential's been very high all season, despite a couple losses. Then we got the Minnesota Needle Kings, also 4-2 with a plus 8. They move up. They've kind of corrected the ship. They started off 2-0, then lost 2, and now they've won 2 again. So they're doing very well there. A tie for 5th place. PSG 4-2 plus 4, along with Tuscaloosa Town Flames. Tuscaloosa had to give up a forfeit loss. So they were in 3rd place, 4-1 with a 7-point differential, but they had to give up a forfeit loss, which is unfortunate. They were the team to beat last season and lost in the finals, and they've been doing very well this season, only losing to Denver up before this forfeit loss. So hopefully they can play their last couple matches and get back up there in the top seeds. Then we got 7th place, the Reno Weezings, our last 4-2 team with a +3 differential. For those who didn't see this match, this is a crazy match. Ali, did you watch this match?
No, I did not.
Justin, I know you watched this match. Remember this match with the Al-Creamy?
Yeah.
Scott, so Reno's G-Max is G-Max Al-Creamy. That's his G-Max pick. He got +3 on Calm Minds. He did 3
Oh
Calm
my
Minds,
god.
like let off with it, tanking everything, right? Destroying, like ready to start destroying things. He gets back-to-back crits against
Bruh.
him. Volt switch from a Galvantula and then a Starmie Choice Specs crit.
Wow.
KO him. He only got 1 KO out of all that.
Man,
It was a
the
very good match. It
hacks.
was very close, but PSG beat him, and PSG got like 5 crits that game.
Oh my god. Those are the worst ones to lose.
Yeah.
To like a paralysis or a freeze or a crit. It's just, oh man, those suck.
Yeah. And it wasn't even
Al-Creamy is
just,
a
like,
beast.
let alone the back-to-back crits that killed his G-Max, and like, you know, he had it +3 on the specials, but like I said, like PSG got like 5 crits that game, and
Dang.
the title of the video was not that crit mattered, but which crit mattered. You know, like which one you gonna pick.
He definitely made a blood sacrifice to the Hacks gods.
Yeah. But it was still a very close game. They only won with 2 Pokemon left, so Reno's been doing well. All right, 8th place we got Driftville City Dragapults. They move up to 3-3 with a +4 differential. 9th place Charm City Charizards. They pick up a nice win. They actually get a sweep this week, so they needed that. Moves them back up to an even differential there, +3. 3-3 with an even differential. Then we got the LA Kinglers. They lost to the Minnesota Neo Kings, moved down to 3-3 with a -5 differential. They lost 4 points this week, so good win from Minnesota. I haven't watched the video yet, but we'll have that up probably in the next day or so. Post that.
That's a pretty low differential.
Huh?
I said that's a pretty low differential for being 3-3.
Yeah, his wins have been very close. His losses, not so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Unfortunately.
kind of like Montreal, like their 2 losses, they started 0-2, but they only had lost against 1 Pokemon, both of those. So they were 0-2 with only a -2, and then they've been rattling off wins, so they've been able to bump up pretty well
Nice.
since then.
Nice.
All right, so this is the playoff cutoff right now, and we got 2 weeks left, so 10 teams make the playoffs. So now we're looking at the teams that are sitting out of it, who have to start making some moves these last couple of weeks. So we got 2 teams tied at 11th. We got the Vero Beach Volcaronas and the Worcester Delibirds 2-4 with -4 differentials. Worcester really played Denver very hard this week, and actually Vero Beach, who I played against, and like I said, if they had brought Mach Punch on Conkeldurr, that would have been GG against me. I only had 1 Pokemon left at the end. So both of these teams I know can get a couple more wins at the end of the season. So hopefully they're able to buckle it down and they can both get into the playoffs. I think they deserve it. Ed, the head coach of Vero Beach, has been such a treat. He's such a treat, but he's new to the society this season, and you never know what to expect with him. Like that's what I mean. Like he didn't bring his Conkeldurr all season. He brings the wackiest moves, the wackiest item sets. He has Silvally on his team, so you're always like, what type Silvally is he gonna bring? You know, Ed's been really awesome. He's been recording his matches, so I'm happy to have him part of the league here.
Nice.
Then we got tied for 13th place, 1-5, -15 points. So we're getting to the drudges here. Probably these teams are probably all sitting out of the playoffs here, barring something crazy. But Seattle Shiny Sylveons and Slateport Sableyes pick up their first win of the season. Both 1-5, -15. Then we got Ali, your mighty Psyducks, 1-5, -16. Not last place though. That belongs to Sin City Squirtles, 0-6 with a -17. So, yep, that's the standings. So we are going to have this match. This is going to be a beauty right here. I will most likely lose. Denver's team is very good, and I know the coach is good. So, you know, if I win, I'll retire. Let's just say that, because it's done at that point. I'll take a season off.
Dang.
All right. So, thanks, guys, for watching. Again, make sure, hashtag Society100. Leave your favorite team. Can't wait to see everybody's favorite teams when we break it down on next week's podcast. Scott, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll have to have you on again soon.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
About different leagues and everything. Yeah, it was really fun. Justin, always great to have you, man. Huge friend of the society, you know, basically, you know, my mentor, I'll say, for all things TCG and a lot of stuff YouTube. I really appreciate you being on this podcast tonight.
Thanks for having me, man. Always a pleasure.
And Ali, the heart and soul of the society, the lovable loser. Every time I ask him if he wants to be on a podcast, when I can't find anybody, he always comes on. Ali, you're the best, man. You're welcome. You're at the bottom
you're very
of the
welcome.
standings, but you're at the top of my heart.
As I should be. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. So, and again, thank you guys. The 100 subs. You guys did it. All I did was make goofy videos and pronounce moves wrong and forget that you can't knock off Silvali's memories. So, you know, I suck at this game, but you watch me anyway, and I appreciate that. And this is for you. So, as always,
thank you guys.
Thank you for watching, and stay classy, society.